At number 20, we have this Monk Three Musketeers deck. The newly reworked Three Musketeers seems to be really broken. I mean, they deal so much more damage at close range and don't even die to Fireball plus Zap anymore. This deck relies on overwhelming your opponent with a split lane push. Split your Three Musketeers, then go Lumberjack in one lane and Monk in the other. Defending such big pushes in two lanes is really difficult, and eventually your opponent will crumble under pressure. This deck receives a high score on both offense and defense, and it's relatively easy to play. At number 19, we have Boss Bandit Royal Hogs Cycle. This deck really benefits from the new Royal Hogs evolution. It's a very fast deck, so your job is to cycle your Royal Hogs as quickly as possible. The Boss Bandit can be used to bait out your opponent's counters to the Royal Hogs. The Firecracker and Cannon provide a stable defense, while the Goblin Gang can stop any high damage dealing cards like Prince or P.E.K.K.A. Make sure to cycle your Firecrackers before anything else if you're facing an air deck like Lava Loon. Overall, this deck is fairly rated in all aspects. At number 18, we have Minor Poison Cycle. This deck was extremely broken last season. In this Three Musketeers meta, I expect it to be even stronger. Poison plus Barbarian Barrel still destroys the Three Musketeers. Cycling the Minor continuously on your opponent's towers will keep them frustrated. This deck absolutely destroys bridge spam decks because your opponent can never break through. The Mighty Miner is broken on defense and he can take care of tanks easily. The cannon and minions make the defense even better, and therefore this deck gets a high rating on defense. At number 17, we have this toxic Three Musketeers Elite Barbarians deck. This is an extremely no-skill deck and is absolutely horrifying to defend against. One single mistake and your tower is gone! The Royal Ghost evolution makes this deck even more deadly on offense. The Ghost and Bandit can bait out defensive counters from your opponent, thus allowing your Three Musketeers and Elite Barbarians to wreak havoc on their towers. Since this deck is quite heavy, you need the Elixir Collector. Stack as many as you can. If you have 2 more collectors on the field, it's basically impossible to lose from that point. This deck gets a very high score on offense and is quite free-to-play friendly. At number 16, we have the Goblin Drill Poison Cycle. Goblin Drill has been one of the strongest decks in the game for a while now. This season, it receives an indirect buff because of the Three Musketeers meta. The Poison and Royal Delivery can counter the Three Musketeers decks easily. The Furnace paired with a Goblin Drill is a scary combo. It can keep spawning Fire Spirits continuously, thus forcing your opponent into bad elixir trades. The Fire Spirits can also splash onto the tower while the enemy troops are trying to defend against the drill. The Snowball evolution is necessary because it always guarantees damage when paired with a Goblin Drill. Overall, this deck gets a really high free-to-play score and is fairly rated in other aspects too. At number 15, we have this Ram Rider Bridge Spam deck. This deck is going to be strong in this meta because of the Lightning. The Lightning can instantly kill the Three Musketeers, making it a very reliable spell for this meta. The Ram Rider and Boss Bandit add insane pressure on offense. Use the Boss Bandit and Royal Ghost to bait out defensive counters. The Executioner evolution is extremely underrated. If you protect him long enough, he can destroy any push in the game. Combine him with the Guards and you have a solid defensive combo. This deck gets a high score on defense and offense, although it might be a bit hard to upgrade.